as I'm looking straight ahead, because I'm mesmerized by the big light. Well, it started out light, but it's so bright, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I've had a lot of people ask me what the light was like, and I tried the best. And then one day, somebody, this is after YouTube came on board, someday said, "Look at this, Dale." And when I saw it, I couldn't breathe because it was the perfect explanation of what I saw when I left the hospital and I was traveling toward what now I realize was heaven, the city of God. In case anybody's interested, there's a video called the Tsar Bomb, okay? The biggest bomb that's ever been apparently exploded up near the Kara Sea in northern Russia. And the Soviets exploded this, I think, I don't remember, 1955, something like that. But when I saw this explosion taken from the footage of an aircraft far away, for about a half of a second, I could say, if you could back the video up and play it right there, right there. There's this, no sound, just this bright light. And if you could just freeze it, and right at the center is brilliant, hot, thick, white light. That's what it was like where I was going. And the further you get from the center of that white light, it starts turning a little bit yellow, yellower, gold, gold, deep, rich gold. But right in the middle is this hot, bright light, and then it's gold all around.
And so I was taken to this palace and I was standing beside Jesus. I won't say what was said is kind of sacred to me. And when this happens, this just light like an atom bomb just explodes and I'm back in my body.
I felt like I was going to melt. I really did. I felt like who I was just so enveloped in this love. And then I felt the separation. I felt the separation from Drake, from God, the creator. I felt the separation from my experience. And to me, where I was, the next second I woke up. And this is 3 days later after my experience. I woke up in the hospital.
It's something that I would have liked to have known, but, you know, it happened to me, you know, in my 50s, is that every single one of us here on this earth are seen. He sees you. He knows your situation. He knows everything that's going on. And you are loved. And I know it seems goofy and cliche, but it's not. It's not. And as I was being, you know, pushed back into, my soul was being, you know, pushed back into my body, it was just one more intense blast of, I love you. And then it was lights out.
And there were beings there. There were these 3 robed guys, and they were overjoyed to see me. They were kidding around and they were bouncing around, and I had known them forever. And there was another guy, and he was in charge, kind of, and he was this tall, wispy guy. And when he came near me, the love from this being was so amazing, I felt like I was going to burst into tears at any moment. It was, your chest was just going to explode with love.
And he showed me that, and I hadn't even remembered that. And he said, I never left you. It was you who turned away from me. And it just blew my mind because he was right. And all that time I thought I was abandoned, but he was right. And I had, but he had never left me. And he sent me this love, this like never ending love that was just so big and so expansive that it was like I wanted to explode. Like my body at the time couldn't even handle that much light.
And I mean, an explosion of just the power and strength and love of God just saturated me. I mean, it just my whole being.
That love, I mean, the love was unexplainable. It was as if you took a thimbleful of love and you said, this is a lot of love, you would have exploded with a thimbleful. And you just thought that your whole body was encompassed by this energy.
I was just in this tremendously blinding light, but it wasn't just light. It was, we describe it as love. It was the most unbelievable, overwhelming feeling of love that I've ever felt in my life. I thought the light was so bright it was going to burn my eyes out because, I felt very much me and could see parts of me. And then I realized it's not blinding my eyes, it's so bright, but it just flows through you.
Anyway, I'm going through this tunnel and I finally go through all of these gates and I finally get to this absolute immense presence of light. It's just pure light. I knew there was so much information pouring in with nothing said. Nothing was said. I knew it was home. I knew this is where we all go, all of us. I didn't put it in terms of God then. I didn't, because I'm just in awe. I just, I don't go, oh, this is God. No, it wasn't like that. It's because I was so overwhelmed, and the love was unbelievable, freaking believable. I've still got sovereignty over John's consciousness. Okay, this much I do know. Nothing had taken me over. Nothing evil or good had taken me over. I still had sovereignty as my sovereign consciousness. I could still think as John with all John's thoughts that I had here on earth. So I'm thinking, okay. And I think I remember saying, where am I? That was the first question. And it said, you've reached us. It's something like that. You'd reached us. I said, but where am I? Because I had this whole concept of going somewhere. I've just been through the earth and rocks and plants through this tunnel. I don't know how long it took because time's just not the same. But, here I had this idea that I'd gone somewhere to the other side of the universe. And I said, where are you? And they said, we are everywhere. I said, well, I don't understand. I thought, I don't understand that. I didn't even think that in words. It knew I didn't understand. So it shifted that parallax thing. Bang, shifts me. A little bit of an emotional insert into my energy field, bang. And next thing I get smashed with this expansion into everything. And it's like, holy crap. That just stripped me of any thoughts. I became it temporarily. So, and it took me years to, map this all out. It's so powerful. It is so powerful. You've got no defense up. Doesn't matter any thoughts that you've ever had that you're trying to hide in your life, forget about it. It knows. It already knows. It sees through that. All the things you've done wrong, all the things you've done right, it knows. So, forget about it. And then I said, am I dead? That's when I asked, am I dead? And it didn't answer me. And I said, well, am I sick? Am I ill? No answer. I thought, to myself, I'm thinking back in the now, John, I thought I must have been a dickhead because it was an answer that was obvious because I wasn't dead. My consciousness was alive. So it was a stupid question, but we still ask stupid questions through ignorance and shock. I was in shock. I think I was in shock and awe at the same time. It was like a whole multifarious.